Hi, I'm Doc Martin, the lone journalist for KRAZ TV. That's right, another book, and it was pretty darn good, I'll tell you. Anyways, the book review, and this is for Zero Channel. Our Towns, a 100,000-mile journey into the heart of America by James Fallows and Deborah Fallows. I don't think I butchered their name. What a wonderful story. Thank God they had the wit to do all of this and then present it like they did, because you really got a slice of America. And I got to tell you right off, these people are patriotic, and at first he never badmouthed anybody. Never in this book. I just tell you that he was a great American. And they did talk about, like in Buffalo or Erie, that the Rust Belt is why Trump era politics came to play. And by reading that, I said, I don't think he's a Republican. But he didn't say anything bad about anything. He's actually a true journalist in a way. And then I found out he was a speechwriter for Carter. That explains it all. Actually, I liked Jimmy Carter, and I voted for him. He was the very first president that I voted for. But anyways, that's my rant. On to the book. It is a Pantheon Books publishing. And they flew all the way. And there's the pictures. James Fallows has been a national correspondent for The Atlantic more than 35 years. See, he is a journalist, reporting from China, Japan, Southeast Asia, Europe, and across the United States. He is the author of 11 previous books. His work has appeared in many other magazines and is a public radio commentary since the 1980s. He has won a National Book Award and a National Magazine Award. For 2 years, he was President Jimmy Carter's chief speechwriter. Deborah Fallows is a linguist and writer who holds a Ph.D. in theoretical linguistics and is author of 2 previous books. She has written for The Atlantic, National Geographic, Slate, the New York Times, and the Washington Monthly, and has worked at the Pew Research Center, Oxygen Media, and Georgetown University. She and her husband have 2 sons and 4 grandchildren. Wow, what a great story. Avid, surprising portrait of the civic and economic reinvention taking place in America, town by town and generally out of view of the national media. That's the reason why it was so unbiased. A realistic, positive, and provocative view of the country between its coasts. For the last 5 years, James and Deborah Fallows have been traveling across America in a single-engine prop airplane. Visiting dozens of towns, they have met hundreds of civic leaders, workers, immigrants, educators, environmentalists, artists, public servants, librarians, business people, city planners, students, and entrepreneurs who take the pulse and to understand the prospects of places that usually draw notice only after a disaster or during a political campaign. In other words, small-town America, mostly. The America they saw is acutely conscious of its problems, from economic dislocation to the opioid scourge, but is also crafting solutions with a practical-minded determination at dramatic odds with the bitter paralysis of national politics. At times of dysfunction on a national level, reform possibilities have often arisen from the local level. The Fallows describe an America in the middle of one of its most creative waves. Their view of the country is as complex and contradictory as America itself, but it also reflects the energy, the generosity, and compassion, the dreams, and the determination of many who are in the midst of making things better. Our Towns is a story of their journey, an account of a country busy remaking itself. It sure is. That's why it's a sweet story. And, well, Carrie's ETV is a small voice for joy, and I found some joy in this book. Well, they went everywhere. They're based out of Gaithersburg, Maryland, and they went all the way. Well, it took them 4 years, and they have different years when they went. So, in 2013, they went South Dakota, Michigan, Vermont, Maine. In 2014, they went South Carolina, Georgia, Mississippi, Louisiana, and then they were in the air. Ohio, Kentucky, Pennsylvania, and then they were in the air. Minnesota, Pennsylvania, West Virginia. 2015, in the air. They went to Oklahoma. Then they came to Ajo, Arizona. I'm in Arizona. That's why I say it's a small place way out in the desert. San Bernardino, California, Oregon, Montana. And then the American Prairie Reserve. What a wonderful place they visited there. And 2016, they went to Dodge City, Kansas, Pennsylvania. And then the back of the book is what we saw and what we learned. And she writes, 10.5 signs of civic success. I got to tell you what the half step is. It's very amazing. So it's a story of journeys that took place over more than 4 years, from preliminary and planning trips late in 12 through our cross-country travel at the start of 17. Everywhere they went, they looked for the good. And they saw a lot of things that had made people go down a little bit, but they were looking for their solutions to come up. And everybody did it locally. And no matter the politics, he talked about a lot of people that were Democrats that really helped and worked across party lines and were appreciated and elected to in Republican dominated areas and stuff. So it really isn't about politics. It's about community. And that's the one takeaway you get off of this book. No matter where they went, they saw people, well, making a new life, doing new things. You know, every time that they went into these depressed areas, they had changed and did new things. So maybe in like Erie, there wasn't the GE locomotive factory anymore, but they were remaking themselves and doing other things. So people, if left alone, can find solutions to keep the daily living instead of, well, we got to go to somewhere else different and migrate. No, this is home. This is home. So America is our home. Anyways, I could go on and on about it, but they just were sweet people, and they helped a lot of people and went around. And some of the 10 things that they said that successes is people work together on practical local possibilities rather than allowing bitter disagreements about national politics to keep them apart. Thank God. Number 2, you can pick out the local patriots. 3, the phase public-private partnership refers to something real. Number 4, people know the civic story. That's true. 5, they have downtowns. 6, they are near a research university. But he said not everybody was near a university, so they have care about a community college. That was the big thing. They have distinctive, innovative schools. That was the biggest thing, was passing on the traditions and all to the young people. And immigrants, too. They didn't discriminate. They didn't. They really did. They make themselves open. In other words, they face the realities. 10, they have big plans. That's the big one. Of course, there's one other marker of a city that is working perhaps the most reliable gauge. Now, you won't believe this, what she says. On the city way back, we'll have at least one craft brewery, maybe more. Until 2014, there had been an unfair test for Mississippi, which effectively outlawed craft beers by setting maximum alcohol levels at the near beer level. It was not until the 70s that Jimmy Carter, as part of his administration's deregulatory agenda, finally removed musty Prohibition-era restrictions on home brewing. By the 1980s, local brewing pioneers like Koch of Boston Beer, Sam Adams, and the Sierra Nevada of Ken Grossman in the West, along with others, laying the foundation for today's golden age of distinctive local breweries and beer. Isn't that amazing? That it was beer that brought us together, folks. You know, I didn't used to think I liked beer. I'm a winemaker and all that, but I tried some beer the other day, and actually I could, enjoy it. That's neither here nor there. What's really here is this book, Our Towns, by James and Deborah Fallows, and it's a 100,000-mile journey. To go that far, it had to take 3 or 4 years. Well, we appreciate it. You've got to read the book. It's so uplifting and inspiring to read this book. And it's just about regular people taking care of the day-to-day. You know, I did not know this, but in here they said that in Dodge City, that's where the meat industry was and has been for over 100 years, that even still today, all the cows and every meat that goes through America, 1/4 of America's meats come through Dodge City. They may feed them or whatever, but they have the packing houses and all of that now. So, and a lot of immigrants work. They said Americans just don't want that. I don't know. Maybe it's the work. But anyways, but it's America, baby. Thank God we're in it, and praise the Lord. Keep your faith and vote. Thanks a lot. Keep watching, and this is Our Towns. We got this book at the Tucson, Pima County Public Library. Thank you, and keep watching.